As we look back over this whole COVID experience, what have we learned? Maybe what you would do different going through it again. This is a road that none of us as churches and pastors and ministries have ever traveled before. So what have we learned? How do we even address unity in the face of policies and norms? And like we've already talked about, some things that push us apart. What have we learned that can help us prepare for the times ahead? Bill, let's start with you, and then Gary, you follow.
Well, one thing I've learned I guess if I were to say that I've learned anything specifically, it would be that God is sufficient. His word is sufficient. That we started into this thing, it was such an unknown. We were hearing all these conflicting stories of people dying and so on. And I just think that day by day, we still have made it. We've endured. Our church here, thankfully, is intact. What I've learned is that God's grace is sufficient, and you can see that better looking backward than you can looking forward sometimes. And so I would say God has been awfully good to us. In spite of the challenges, our income is up. We have a missionary getting ready to go to the field. So in all of it, God has been faithful, as we knew in theory that he would, but in the rearview mirror now for the last 10 months, we can see that he's been faithful.
Good. Gary, briefly, please.
100%, simply because of the fact that the Bible teaches us in the book of Hebrews chapter 10 that we can have confidence in God to work. And since March of last year, I'll tell you, Keith, we've seen God work many ways in our ministry. I agree with Brother Bill. Our finances have been up. There have been some Sundays when we've gotten twice as much as what we actually needed. And in the budget. Beyond that, our worship has been better. Our singing, our studying of the Word of God has been better. So I think if there's one thing I've learned, and that is this, that as we go through these dark times, we can have confidence in God to bring the brightness of his light to our congregations.
Good.
He is doing that.